What's good, everybody? This is Ryan Johnson with MoneyBass.com. What is going on, guys? Let's go ahead and get this thing started. Friday. Looks like we're going to have a weekly recap. Drop a 1 in the chat. Just want to make sure you guys can hear me okay, see me okay. Want to make sure everything is live and in action before we kind of get into it for this evening. Let me just, do a sound check. And we can see who we have checking in this evening. And also, while I'm waiting for those ones to come in, let me get over here and check on the Facebook crew. All right, guys, just bear with me for a quick second. Good to see everybody. I see some guys getting active in the chat. Really, really appreciate that. All right, so the Facebook crew. Here we go. Here we go. All right, shout out to the Facebook crew. All right, so you guys should be live and in action over there on the Facebook side of things. All right, so we're going to do a weekly recap, guys. So, I figured I'd kind of ease in here. I told you guys we may start doing this a little more than just once a week. So every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern is when we have our normal weekly live streams. But, we're going to start sliding a few more in here. So really appreciate everybody for tuning in. But I know you saw that thumbnail. So we're going to do a weekly recap. That's what we're going to call this. And for everybody that was here for this week's live stream with Ben Milliken. Oh, man, it was a good one. It was a good one. What did you guys think about that? I definitely want you guys to get active in the chat. The live streams always build off of the chat, guys. So as long as you're getting active in there, we can kind of interact with each other. I do want to make sure that these live streams stay interactive, guys. So I always will communicate back and forth with the chat, see what you guys have going on. And each week, remember, this is a place that you can come and also use it for your weekly brag board. So if you have been out there on the water, doing your thing, maybe you have that PB, maybe you've won that tournament, maybe you came in here and you got a last place. You can come in here, we could talk about it. You know what I mean? We can have a good time with everything, guys. And also, does anybody have any tournaments coming up this weekend? So just want to get a feel for the room, see who we have checking in tonight, all that good stuff. Oh, man. Yeah, it's been a lot going on this week, guys. And I also want to reach out to anybody that has been reaching out to me, wanting me to come and do a collab or anything like that. Please send me another message. Those messages come, and if I miss them, sometimes I can't go back and find them. So just make sure, it's okay. Just go ahead and reach out to me again, guys. I really, really appreciate everybody for reaching out to me, that really had a good time during Tuesday's live stream. We tried a different format. And also the thing that I wanted to clarify, a lot of people are asking me about the podcast versus the live stream. So a podcast is generally what you are going to see as a pre-recorded show. The shows that we do here are live, guys. So we are live right now. I am definitely interacting live with the subscribers and the viewers. So I see you guys in the chat. And also during certain segments of the show, I do bring people up live. I'll drop the link in the chat. That way you guys can click on it. You can come up here, voice your opinion. It doesn't matter if you have a difference of opinion. No, there's some people are going to think this way. Some people will think that way. You can come up here, voice your opinion about it. Kind of get it out there. Then you never know. Somebody might learn something. That way, sometimes you can meet in the middle or not. It just depends on how people think about certain topics. But hey, it's all in fun, all in trying to learn, all in trying to better ourselves and all that. And the other thing is each week when we meet here, what we are trying to do is to continue what we are doing, guys. You guys see the numbers. You see how fast we're growing. You see the caliber of guests that we have coming to the show. So we're definitely growing, guys. We're building a community of like-minded guys, and we're going to continue doing that, guys and gals. I don't want to leave anybody out. So so that's what we're all about here. We're here to just enjoy everything the best we can, guys. All right, so let me hop into the chat real quick. Just want to gauge the room and see who we have in here for the evening. And if anybody has a topic, not a topic, but what you want to enter for the poll. And another thing that we do on the live streams, guys, is I will bring up a poll. So it could be something like just thinking about I don't know, what are you guys thinking about? Like a hot topic or something like that. Obviously, an easy one would be who thinks forward-facing sonar should be banned, something like that. But obviously, we don't necessarily need to do a poll about that. But if anybody has anything interesting that they have seen out in these YouTube streets, or maybe out there, in the real world, what's going on, and you kind of want to gauge the room, the poll kind of just gives us a gauge of who we have viewing. And in attendance for the live stream for this particular live stream. Oh, and I cannot forget, let me bring up the banner, guys. Gotta give a big shout out to the sponsor of on Tuesday's live stream, the lead attorney. Oh yeah, he came in and dropped a $100 super chat on the channel, guys. So big shout out to the lead attorney. Really appreciate that. Each week when we get together here, guys, the person that gives the largest super chat, super sticker during the live stream is the sponsor of this live stream, because this channel is supported by you guys, the viewers, the subscribers. And, sometimes we have a few people that want to swing through just to see what's going on for that evening or for that week with the, over here on this channel. All right, let me hop back into this chat real quick. All right, guys, let's see who we have checking in. So we have Trey Lee. What is going on, Trey Lee? Checking in saying, yo. All right, so he's ready to get into it. Trey Lee was here a little early. As a matter of fact, I think he beat me here.
Yes, sir.
All right. Was I late, guys? Was I late or was I on time? No, I was late. I was late. You got me. All right. So Tim Williams says, what's up, money? All right. What's going on, Tim? And we have Scott checking back in. Really appreciate you for tuning into the live stream. All right, guys. And we have Big Jim Fishing. Oh, yeah. Big Jim came up last time. That might be part of tonight's recap because they had some great questions that they asked Milliken. And have you guys seen any other live streams where they have the guest up and they allow you guys to actually come up and talk to those guests? I mean, he was quick on his feet. You guys asked him some questions, so he was ready for it. I mean, hey, he didn't stutter. He was ready to go. So that was a great segment that we had on Tuesday. But yeah, how did you guys appreciate that format? What did you guys think about that? All right, shout out to Joe Winkler. He said the gang's all here. All right, evening everyone. All right, shout out to the Money Team. Joe Winkler is a part of the Money Team, and you see that Big Jim Fishing, he has that badge next to his name also. Those are basically the members of the channel, guys. We call them the Money Team. And if anybody is interested in supporting the channel and becoming a member of the Money Team, the join link is right below. Just click on that. It'll give you a little information about what it means to be a member of the channel. One of which is when we do have live streams like this one, or the one that we just had this on Tuesday. When that chat starts moving, guys, on Tuesday, it was moving fast. I was trying, guys. But the members of the Money Team, those badges stand out. So I'm able to kind of click on those comments and get them right up there, kind of to the front of the line, pull them up on the screen and see what the Money Team is out there thinking. But yeah, so if you're interested in supporting the channel, just click that join button and it'll give you a little information about it. All right, let's see who else we have checking in this evening. All right, so yeah, Big Jim talking about he's late. He's late. Oh, yeah, guys, you know how it is. You know what's going on out here in these YouTube streets. Shout out to Gary. He says he must be counting his money. Oh, man, Tuesday was kind of crazy. It was kind of good. It was a good one. It was a good one, guys. All right, we have Fishing Fix. Haven't seen you in here before. Fishing Fix. All right, subscriber to the channel. Really appreciate you for coming in. All right, we have somebody this come back. Haven't seen you in a while. Crappy Nader Fishing says, when are you leaving Mega Live like Big Jim did? Hey, man, there's no reason to. Not for me. But the thing about it, that is another, I'm glad you mentioned that. So with this channel, guys, that is another thing that we get into is electronics. We get into fishing, we cover a wide variety of things. Sometimes we cover hot topics. That's what we've been doing this week. But his question is, when am I going to leave Mega Live? I run Humminbird systems. There are people in here that run Garmin. There are people that run Lowrance. What I always say is people have to make the best decision for them, whether it be financially, whether it be based on the current system that they have set up. So there's a lot of things that people take into consideration. But that's what I always tell people. You just have to make the decision based on what is best for you and your current setup, or what all you want to have whenever your setup is finished. So big shout out to Crappy Nader coming in. All right, let's see who else we have. Stevie K. What's going on, Stevie K? Really appreciate you for coming back and checking out everything. All right, so let's see, guys. You guys are rolling in the chat. So just real quick, what we're gonna do for this evening, guys, I'm gonna go through the chat a little bit, and then what we're gonna do is pull up a few clips from the live stream on Tuesday and just kind of expound, just talk about that a little bit more. And I will check into the chat to see what you guys have to say. And if anybody wants to come up, then, I can drop the link. But this is basically going to be a recap of the week. And that's what we're going to start doing, guys. We're going to add in a weekly recap session each week. And if you guys have any, if you've seen any hot topics, any videos or anything like that that you'd be interested in recapping or following up on, just make sure you send me a message on my Instagram. And let me just see real quick if I can put my Instagram up here. Just bear with me, guys. Where is it at? Where is it at? Can I find it real quick? No, I don't think I can. I was trying to see if I could find it. But my Instagram, guys, is at official money bass. That is my Instagram. So a lot of you guys already reach out to me on that, send me links to certain things that you want me to check out, and maybe we can bring it to the forefront and kind of talk about it. So really, really appreciate that, guys. All right, so let's see who else we have checking in for this evening. Oh, and one other thing. Like I said, I did want to give a big shout out to the lead attorney. He is the sponsor from the last live stream that we did on Tuesday, and the person that is the live stream of the previous live stream, it carries over into the current live stream until we have a new sponsor of the live stream comes up. So that's kind of how that works, guys. So you'll see at the bottom that banner says special thank you so much to the sponsor of the stream, the lead attorney. So really, really appreciate that. All right, let's see what else we have going on in here. So we have Foutz Fishing, another member of the money team, checking in. He says present, just got off the lake running LVS 34 and Mega Live side by side. Oh my goodness. Wow, I have not heard of anybody doing that. So yeah, drop a comment in the chat, Doty. Give us some information about that. I mean, why are you running two different systems? Are you running one on landscape and the other one on forward facing or down imaging, or down mode? So what is your reasoning? Or are you just testing them out to see which one you like better? So yeah, so that's very, very interesting. You're running two live transducers. And do you tournament fish, or are you just out there trying to get an extra eye on the lake? What is going on with that? All right, then shout out to Scott. He said Hawk is gonna be counting money when he wins the bet. Oh no, that is not gonna happen. That's not gonna happen. All right, shout out to Hunter Taylor. Says, hey, did I missed it, but I watched the replay and it was great. Oh yeah, we had a great time on that live stream, guys. And I don't know if you guys noticed, but to me, I mean, I've seen a lot of interviews and things like that with Milliken, but it seemed like, you kind of saw just a little bit a different side of him. You know what I mean? What do you guys think? Did you guys kind of see what I saw, or saw what I see? All right. Shout out to Bruiser. What's going on, Bruiser? Haven't seen you in a minute. Really, really appreciate you for checking into the live stream. All right. So yeah, we're going to get in here and talk a little fishing, do some recap, and just kind of have like a open conversation about some things. But I see a few more messages in here. Let me just hop back in here real quick. So shout out to who is this? Burn. Says Burn from New Jersey. Hi, bro. What's going on? Really, really appreciate you tuning in, checking into the live stream. All right, then Big Jim Fishing says, poll question: how many have the leash on their outboard motor? I think that's going to be a very, very small percentage of people have the leash on their boat. But there we go. I'll drop this poll in here just so we can see, and just so everybody knows, the leash is a I guess you could say like a safety harness that you can put on your motor. So let's say you're going down the lake and you run shallow, or you hit a floating log or a submerged log or something like that, and they can knock the actual motor or break the transom, or the motor mount may break, and that motor can possibly flip into your boat. The leash is made to hold that motor in place. It's still, I don't think it'll stop it from breaking off, but it's what it's made to do, or designed to do, is to stop the motor from flipping into the boat. So that is what Big Jim is. He wants to poll the room to see who has the leash, who's running the leash. So just hold on, just bear with me real quick, guys. Let me drop this poll in here real quick. All right, so the first poll of the evening is, do you have a, let me put that, leash on your boat? All right, and this one will be pretty simple. It's either yes or no. And I have a feeling that a lot of people are going to say no, they do not. So yeah, if anybody does have a question about that, but the poll is in the chat now, guys. So just take a look at that poll. I'll leave this one up for a little bit. See if once we get maybe, let's see how many people, about 20, 30 votes or something like that. Then that kind of gauges the room. This is in no way a poll to determine if there are a lot of people out there that are using the leash. This poll is just to gauge the room. And that's what these polls do. They kind of gauge the room to let us know who's in the live stream, you know, what people's thoughts are on certain things. So that's where we're at with that. All right. Then we have Shop Life checking in, says second stream. All right. Keep it up. All right, really, really appreciate you tuning into the live stream. And shout out to another member of the Money Team. We have Big Ivy Fishing checking in. He said the boat dealers that are going out of business. What are y'all talking about in the chat? What is that one about? All right, then we have GL. What is that? GL Cott checking in. All right, what does he say? South Central Texas. All right, so we have a Texan in the house. All right, really, really appreciate you for tuning in also. All right, then we have Living Missouri's Outdoors. All right, our NDAs necessary in Bass. Milliken will explode next year with followers. I appreciate his honesty. Let me see. Our NDAs necessary. I have never heard of anything regarding NDAs. I mean, but I knew they do have in the rules. If you just go and read the rules, there's certain things that they kind of put in there that you can't say certain things or talk bad about certain aspects of the organizations themselves. But as far as NDAs, I would not know that. If anybody in the chat knows anything about anglers having to sign NDAs, I've never heard of that before. But yeah, drop that in the chat. Let's see. All right, Scott says technologically challenged. So yeah. Oh, that's the other thing, guys. Always make sure you get in the chat and network with each other. You never know. You never know who's watching these live streams and who is going to be coming on this channel. So you always want to make sure that you're getting active in the chat. You're introducing yourself. You know, you're, like I said, networking with the other people that are in here, because there may be somebody that's on your same lake, somebody that's fishing the same tournaments. You may be able to link up with somebody and, you know, have a great fishing partner. Go out there and cash some checks. Oh yeah, get out there and cash a few checks out here on these tournament trails. All right, let's see who else we have. CT checking in. We have CT. He says finally here. We're checking on the new place. All right, big shout out to CT. All right, Pat. We have Pat checking in. What's going on, Pat? Have you been out there on the lake yet? What is going on? I need an update. I need an update mask off. What is going on? Have you been out there on the lake? All right. So, yeah, you guys are definitely getting active in the chat. Really, really appreciate that. All right. So, Living Missouri Outdoors says Milliken wins an elite event in 2024. Oh, okay. Okay. We can do that one as a poll. Just remind me. Let me just check this poll real quick and see where we're at. Once we have about 20. Okay. So, we're at 22 votes. Wow. Okay. Check this out. I have to stop the show. It's more than what I thought. So, we're at 36% says yes, they do have the leash. Wow, I'm surprised. Okay. And then we have 64% that says they do not. And so this is my question that I have. Has anybody seen any results or any studies or anything that shows an accident that has happened, or any testing that shows that it actually works? So I don't know about that. When I did kind of research it a little bit, I don't remember seeing anything like that or hearing of any accidents where someone did actually have that. And, you know, if it stopped the motor, if it held the motor in place, or what happened with that. But yeah, if anybody knows the answer to that, please make sure you drop the answer to that in the chat, because that is something that I'm considering buying, guys. And always make sure you check the descriptions of the videos, because I try to put helpful information. If I have links to any discounted products, anything like that, I always try to put helpful information for you guys in the chat. All right, so what I'm going to do, let me just change this poll up real quick, and then let me just check and see what's going on in the chat. Okay, yeah, you guys are moving. All right, so what I'll do is go ahead and update this poll real quick. So we're going to end this poll. So 35% say yes, they do have it out of 23 votes, and 65% are saying no, they do not have it. So hope that information helps somebody out. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and end that poll, and I'll start a new one. And then with this new poll, we'll go ahead and hop into the content, guys. You know, I always want to get in here and kind of gauge the room, see who's in here, you know, talk to my people before we get into it. Because like I said, for people that are just tuning in, these are live streams. These are not podcasts. We are live and in action right now. You can go back and watch these on the replay, but for the most part, podcasts are pre-recorded shows. We are doing these shows live. Whenever you see me bring guests on the show, or you see me interacting with the chat, this is happening now, live and in action. When I drop that link and ask you guys if you want to come up, when you come up, it will be in real time. So these are live streams, guys. There's a little difference. There's a little difference to it. All right, so let me start this next poll. And this next poll is, let's see, Living Missouri's Outdoors says, will, let's see, Milliken win an elite event in 2024? Whoa, man! Now that would definitely be something, guys. If he steps it up and then he comes straight into that and wins something, pretty impressive. All right, so this one will be another simple one. So we'll go with yes, and then we will go with no. So who thinks that he will and who thinks that he won't? The poll is now active. All right, so now what I'm going to do is just zoom through here real quick. Just check on the MoneyTeam on the chat and just go through here real quick so I can get caught up, and then I'll share my screen and bring up this video, and then we can get into it, guys. All right, so shout out to Joe Winkler. He says, I've seen some pics on motors flipping in the boat. It's not a pretty sight. Oh, no. Definitely, that is not a pretty sight. Yeah, so there have been some people seriously hurt from that. All right, then Big Jim says, thanks. I'll use your data for a video I'll be doing. All right, so hope that really helped you out. All right, yes, you can clip it out. Go ahead and clip that section out and, add it to your video if you want. All right, Joe Winkler says, if you have a 2019 or newer Mercury Optimex, you best be getting one. Uh-oh. So what have you heard about that? Go ahead and put that information in the chat. That is another thing I want you guys to always remember. What we do when we get in here, we're always looking to help each other out. So whenever someone has some information like this, and this is definitely some safety information that we're talking about. So everybody should be interested in hearing that, whether you have your own boat or even if you're fishing on somebody else's boat, because that motor does not discriminate once it comes in that boat between whether you're an angler or the co-angler. When it comes in there, it's going to be trying to talk to everybody. So yeah, drop some information in there. Why are you specifying that particular motor? All right, Joe. Shout out to Joe Winkler, member of the Money Team. Shout out to Scott, says Texas strong. All right, let's see. Doty Fishing says, today I put both forward looking at the same, at the same thing. Mega Live on the bottom and 34 inches above on the target lock shaft. Wow. Okay. So are you trying to do some studies? What's going on? He says, lots of configurations to test. No tournaments, retired. I fish for fun. All right. Doty Fishing is out there doing his thing. Said, I'm going to get 2 transducers out here. Let me see twice as many fish. I'm going to get out here and see twice as many fish. All right. Let's see who else we have in here. Shout out to Dan. Really appreciate you tuning into the live stream. All right. Let's see. Let me get down here, guys. Like I said, I'm almost caught up. So Big Jim Fishing, he says, yes, let me see. I'm in work on a video showing it. Okay. I'm just trying to help guys be safe. No affiliation. An angler in Tennessee got hurt last February here. Oh yeah. I think we all did kind of hear about that. So yeah, I hope he's doing well. Does anybody have any update on the person that had that, that accident? All right. Joe Winkler says, it just stops the motor from flipping into the boat, but does hold the motor so you don't lose it completely. All right. So yeah, so that's the thing. Does anybody have any studies, any actual knowledge, footage, or anything from where someone did actually have an accident with that? That's what I'd be interested in seeing, just to know, just to kind of give us a gauge of what happens when someone does have an accident with one. All right, let me see. Let's see. I'm just looking in here real quick, guys. All right, so what I'm going to do now is go ahead and share my screen. Want to give another big shout out to the Facebook crew. I see you guys looking. I see you. All right, so what I'm going to do is share my screen, and then we're going to just take a look at a few clips. And the other thing that I'll do is, after I play one or two of the clips, I will drop the link. Now, when that link comes into the chat, guys, if you want to come up, and kind of voice your opinion on what you are seeing or hearing on the clips, you can come up, do that. I'll set the timer on like 1 to 2 minutes. You let you come up, voice your opinion, and then, we can continue the conversation. I'll drop you back down and see if somebody else wants to come up. So that's the way we will run that. All right, so just bear with me as I share the screen. Make sure it is queued up. All right, so like I mentioned earlier, to me, I kind of saw a different side of Milliken. He kind of squeezed it in there a little bit, a different side from what I've seen in some of the other podcasts. And like I said, I'm doing a live stream, but I've seen him on a lot of podcasts. And, you know, it just seemed like, you know, it was just a little different. What do you guys think? I want to see your opinion on that. All right, but let me go ahead and share my screen. And what we'll do is, let me see how I can format this. We'll just do it like that. So what I'll do, there we go. All right, so what I'll do is just play this clip, and I'll check in the chat, see what you guys have to say about it, and then we'll keep on rolling. That's the way we'll do it. So this is the weekly recap, guys. We'll start doing these, and sometimes I will pull in, you know, other topics and things like that may have been happening through that week. And like I said, you guys can use this as a brag board, so you can always get in here, let us know what's going on with you. If you're fishing any tournament trails, any information you want to share with the guys. So that's what we're all about over here. All right, so let me go ahead and pull this up, and let's listen in. Let's see. So it's like to look and see you now. It's like it's just like a sigh of relief. Okay, he made it. He was okay. That kid that we watched in that video. And guys, if you have not watched those videos that he put out, I think that was about 6-7 years ago. Go back and watch those videos and look at who you see in front of you then, and look at who you see in front of you now. I mean, it's a tough road for everybody out here, but to see somebody make it and accomplish it, I mean, it just makes people, it gives people, you know, it makes them feel like they can do it too. They can accomplish things, even whenever you're going through struggles in life and stuff like that. That is kind of how I looked at it. So whether people like Ben Milliken, don't like Ben Milliken, you know, follow him or don't follow him or anything, just that story itself is like an inspirational thing that I think anybody can take something from, you know, and kind of build on and follow, you know, just see that, hey, things are going to have their ups and downs, but just keep pushing. Just keep pushing.
100%, man.
All right, real quick. I got a volume check. Are you guys able to hear it now? I just turned the volume up. Do I need to start it back over, or were you guys able to hear it? Did it get better? Okay, so we're good. We're good. We can keep going. All right, because Milliken was about to get into it. All right, let's see. All right, so we're good. All right, here we go, guys. Let's keep on listening.
Man, I'm not trying to turn this into a sentimental thing, but it's just like, you're 100% right. It doesn't matter if you're 16 years old or if you're 40 years old or if you're 70 years old. If you keep an open mind, use the internet, just learn, understand where you can fit in whatever you're passionate about, and then be crazy passionate about that and work your ass off, you can really accomplish crazy things. Like, there's no reason that I worked at 8 to 5. I couldn't go fish the tournament series and take 8 to 12 weeks off work like I needed to go fish professional. Like, it wasn't possible. It wasn't in the cards. I couldn't afford it. Had a shitty job that paid shitty. And like, there's no reason I should be able to. And I kept my eyes open. I networked. I made contacts with people that were able to be successful on the internet, YouTube side of things. And here I am. I mean, 1,500 videos later, of course, it wasn't
Right.
like it was just like, boom,
Right.
hey guys,
right.
follow me. I like to fish. But
Right.
if
Even
you
I mean,
really
when you
want
look-
to do it, man, and you really like, it's not wanting to do it, it's not being good at doing it, but it's understanding how you can do it on top of that, and then working your ass off, you can get to where you want to be.
Right, yeah, because I mean that path. All right, there we go. All right, so yeah, so to me, like I was saying, that kind of advice that he was giving out, it to me, it just kind of started showing a different side of him. I mean, what do you guys think? What do you guys think? So that was one of the segments that I kind of pulled out because it kind of stood out to me. But let me just hop back in the chat. I did see a message in here. So in regards to that leash, guys, and the accident that we heard about earlier this year, I believe it was. So Big Jim Fishing, shout out to the money team. We have Big Jim checking in. He says he's recovering. He just picked up his new boat. Oh, okay. Wow, he's getting back in the game. All right. The test study on the leash is confidential to the company due to proprietary data. All right, but hey, I mean, we want to know something. We need to know if it's out there working, if it's making some things happen. So yeah, I did a lot of looking around and I wasn't able to find anything. But yeah, so that is an update on that person, guys. All right, then Victor Phil says, I have a question to ask about forward-facing sonar. All right, so go ahead and drop that in the chat, and hopefully I will be able to see that when it comes up, and then I can I'll put it out there to the people, and we can see what everybody thinks. But real quick, that poll that we put up, will Milliken win an elite event in 2024? Ooh, I think that's gonna be tough, guys. I mean, that's gonna be tougher than the opens. How many competitors are in the opens versus how many are in the elites? I don't really know. Does anybody know? If anybody knows, drop that in the chat, because I think that should definitely be taken into consideration also. Yeah, I think it's going to be a tough one. All right, so let's see. Right now, we are sitting at 57% says yes. Oh, yeah. So, I mean, so hey, all right. So, you guys have some faith. 59% says yes. And we have 41% that says no. So, that's pretty interesting. You guys think he's going to get out there and make it happen? Good deal. All right. So, yeah, we'll continue to check back in on that poll. But like I said, if you guys have any questions or anything like that, always make sure you put that down in the chat, because you never know who is watching, whether it's a question about electronics, about tournaments, equipment for your boats, anything like that. Always make sure you drop it in the chat, because you never know who is watching. You never know what reps for companies are in here in the chat too, guys, because we do have some people that are kind of silently watching in the background, and you won't know they're there until you know they're there. All right. All right. So let's see. Let's go through the chat just a little bit more. Let's see. Doty Fishing. Shout out to the Money Team. He says, I love to watch Milliken's marketing skills, and you will never see me shoot pool or play poker with him. All right. Good deal. Good deal. All right, let's see. I'm just looking in the chat. And then, so that was the first clip that I wanted you guys to see. So I have a few more that I want to bring up. And like I said, guys, we're in here to have some fun. This is just a weekly recap. We're doing a quick recap of the interview that took place earlier this week with Ben Milliken. Like I said, there were a lot of interesting parts in here. We did bring up people from the audience that were able to ask him questions, which to me was kind of a unique touch, because this is not a podcast, guys. Remember, this is a live stream. These shows are live. So when I'm interacting with you guys, when I'm pulling you guys up on the screen, it is happening now. All right, so let's see what else we have in here. All right, hold on. I see a comment in here. I had to read it first before I bring it up. I just need to check it. Hold on just a second. I can't bring that one up, but I just had to check it. Nope, can't bring that comment up. All right, let's see who else we have checking in here. I mean, it's an all right comment, but somebody, to me, I'm in here, it's all in fun. So that's the way I look at it. But some people, they may take things a little personal, but you know how it is. All right, let's see who else we have in here. I see you guys in here trying to have some fun. All right, Big Jim says, let's see. He says easier 90 to 100 versus 220 to 250 in the opens. Okay, wait a minute. Wow. Okay. So the opens has more competition, and he was able to win in the opens with more competition. But in the elites, I guess that competition is going to, let me get over here a little bit. So in the elites, you're going to be against less people, but maybe the competition is harder. Is that the way you guys see it? And let's just look at this poll again. So the poll says, will Milliken win an elite event in 2024? We have 61% that says yes. Wow. Okay. Okay. It's still moving. You guys are still in there voting. All right. So yeah. So we have some fun with these polls, guys. So once we well, actually, a lot of you guys are voting on it. So make sure you get active in the poll, guys. And I see more people tuning in. Whenever you come in, always introduce yourself in the chat, because you never know who is watching. You never know who is listening. So you want to make sure you introduce yourself and network in the chat. And we also put up a poll. Sometimes we'll do several polls whenever we do the live streams, and that just kind of gauges the rooms. We do some of those for informational purposes to gauge the room, and also some of them are just for fun, just so we can see, what people are thinking, just like the one that we have up here now. So the current question is, will Milliken win an elite event in 2024? And how many events do they have? Is it 9? Let's see. Will he win an elite event in 2024? 61% are saying yes. Oh, man. All right. That is going to be interesting. All right, let's see. Joseph says, let's see, toughest hawk trying to hang on to his money on Logan Martin. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. If you say Chicken Hawk's name too many times, he just might show up. So you got to be careful with that. You never know when he's listening in and just kind of hiding in the background. All right, Victor Field says, on the debate about forward facing sonar, pull up to a spot to fish. Let me see. Did the forward facing. So I didn't get your question. So yeah, you said you had a question to ask. Yeah, if you just put your question in there again. I didn't quite follow it. All right, Stevie K, let's see, says agree with Big Jim, half the field. All right. So yeah, what is your opinion between the opens versus the elites? One has a lot more anglers, the other one has less anglers, but that competition, I think that competition is going to be up a little bit. Yeah, just drop some opinions on that, guys. All right, let's see. Let's see. I see you guys in here. All right, Delta Bass, what's going on?
Yes, sir.
Glad to see you checking in. Said it's been a few accidents. The leash can't hurt. Just like a seatbelt. I've been planning to add a red one to my rig. Yeah, I've been looking into it too. So yeah, I'll probably be getting one and putting on mine. All right, so let's see. Steven says Ben will win one at least. All right, Pookie baby, what is that? All right, so shout out to CT. Says Money Bass Eat Squawk has a poll question. Is Randy going to be pissed that you're hanging out with Ben? Ah, come on, man. Can't we all just be friends? Can't we? No, I do not think. I mean, Randy is a friend of the channel. Ben is obviously a friend of the channel too. I mean, there are a lot of people that are friends of the channel. Obviously, you guys see Chicken Hawk, one of my main people. Me and him are always button heads. So just because people have differences of opinions on things, to me, does not mean that they can't be friends, be cordial, actually even hang out. To me, I can see all of us hanging out at a campsite, camping, and just having a good time, talking trash and everything, getting ready for the next event. So to me, that's kind of the way that I see it. But yeah, good old Uncle Randy, he's good with it. He's good with it. And you never know. He might be on the show one day, guys. All right, so let's see who else we have checking in. All right, so here is Victor Fields' question. It says, forward-facing sonar debate. After pulling up to a spot to fish, did the forward-facing sonar find that spot or did I find that spot? And can the forward-facing sonar catch any fish for me? So how is it cheating? All right. So let's see. So you're saying basically what your point is that even if the person has the technology or the tools, that it still takes the angler to do the work to make it function and to have success or failure with it, is basically what I see that you're saying. And so how is it cheating? It's not cheating if it's not against the rules. That's the bottom line for me. If it's not against the rules, then it's not cheating. So it may be something else, but I mean, it could be an advantage. It could be an extra tool, but everybody has access to it. But I think that is the sentiment of your question that you're asking. All right, let's see. Uh-oh. Look who's trying to get somebody to come up here to check out the show. All right, let's see, guys. So that poll is still moving. See a few more people have tuned in. Says, will Milliken win an elite event in 2024 is the poll question for this evening. Make sure you guys get active in the chat and also active on the poll whenever we put these in here. I will leave it up for a little bit more and then I'll drop that one down and then we will do another poll. Maybe we'll do the one that Eat Squawk was putting up here. All right, so let's see who else we have checking in, guys. All right, so Joseph says opens are way tougher because of more variables. All right, hey, wow, okay. So you're saying it would be easier to win an elite event than an opens event. What do you guys think? Do you agree with that? All right, let's see. All right, so we have broke rich guy. How did you do that? How are you a broke rich? Let me see. Broke rich. Man, I don't know. I'm confused. I'm confused. How are you? But let's see. Broke rich guy says, who cares about forward facing sonar? If you want to use it, then use it. If not, don't. Can't we all just fish already? Just go out there and try to catch some fish. Set the hook. All right. Big shout out to broke rich guy. Glad to see you back in the chat. All right. Let me go ahead and pull up the next clip, guys. Just let me cue it up real quick. And like I said, if you guys want to comment on these clips, but these are just some parts of the live stream that kind of stood out to me. And make sure you guys go and check out the entire stream. I will kind of clip this up a little bit. You guys know how I do. I'll spice it up a little bit. Some people don't like it, but some people do like it. So I'll spice it up a little bit and drop some clips for you guys and kind of add a little more, add a twist to it. But let me hop in here real quick. Where were we at? Oh, so this was another part right here that just watch Milliken's reaction whenever guys came in and started showing up and showing some support for the channel. Hold on. All right, let me go ahead and drop this down and let's go ahead and take a look at the next clip. And of course, a poll on a channel, I always say it is just to gauge the room. This is not going to be anything that's going to tell you what's going on in the outside world. I just try to, whenever I talk about the topics, I want to see if I have people that's kind of on both sides of it, so we can kind of exchange ideas on it. So yeah, it's just kind of,
it's a weird topic. I mean, I definitely see where someone that would be not liking live scope or worried about live scope is coming from. 100%. I feel like it does make fishing more difficult if you don't know the technology, because it's educating fish at a quicker pace than any other form of technology ever has. It's tough because it's like, if you're going to poll someone, you should probably poll people and take opinions from people that have used it at least, and you're never going to get that. And that's understandable too. Of course, you're never going to get that. Like, if I ask my audience, or if I even ask people that fish tournaments, what's your thoughts on it? Like, I'm still going to get people that have never used it and are just like, well, people are doing well with it because they have it, but I don't have it. So I don't think we should have it anymore, you know? So it's like, it's hard. It's hard.
So that was the second point. So we did obviously talk about the forward facing sonar thing. So that was his, just talking about how do you kind of gauge and get the information to determine things at this point? And basically he's saying, hey, I mean, we need more information to be able to make an educated, an educated assessment of where we're at with that. All right. And let me hop to this next part. So this next part, which I was kind of interested in, was obviously there's people who agree and disagree. Are there any points that you think that he would agree with? Let me ask the chat real quick. The chat. So do you think there are any, what would you think that Milliken is going to say whenever I ask him, are there any points about the anti-forward facing sonar and the people that are for it? Is there anything that he actually agrees with? What do you guys think in the chat? I'm going to wait a few seconds and look and see what you guys say in the chat. Again, this is the weekly recap, guys. We're just doing a quick recap of to me, it was a great show. I had a great time with it. I saw you guys in the chat getting active, but we're just doing a quick recap. What do you guys think that Ben Milliken may agree with as far as the people that are on the anti-forward facing sonar side? What do you think? Checking out the chat. Gonna give you guys a few seconds so I can hop in here. And while I'm doing that, let me just go ahead and take a look at this poll again. Will Ben Milliken win an elite event in 2024? Wow, the number is increasing. I wonder if Ben is watching this. So right now, you get 66% of you guys are saying yes, he will win. And we have 33%. The number's kind of moving around. It's hopping around a little bit. But right now we're at 33%. 67% say yes. 30. Yeah, it's still moving. So it's around that 67 to 35% right now. All right, let's see. All right, so I'm just looking in the chat real quick, see if anybody answered that question to see what they think he would agree with. And then I'll go ahead and let you hear what he had to say. All right, hold on 1 second. 1 second. None of us are just you guys are getting crazy. I mean, hey man. We have the best chat on YouTube. We have the best chat in the live stream business, guys. You guys are getting in here, definitely staying active. Always have some interesting comments in here too. All right, let's see. What is this? You guys talking about memory test. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look and see what Milliken had to say. I don't see any of you guys getting active in responding to that point. So let's just go ahead and take a look and see what Milliken had to say. All right, hold on 1 second, guys. Here we go.
To get really that objective point of view, when I do see like why people wouldn't like it, why we don't want technology to advance any further. I totally understand that.
Right, gotcha. All right, so I have a question for you. So we know pretty much what you disagree with, but are there any points that he makes concerning forward-facing sonar that you do agree with?
I mean, just kind of taken from what I just said, like I agree that if we're gonna, I would agree with what he's saying about worrying about it going too far with like, well, what is the next thing going to be? If forward-facing sonar is this good and it's made fisheries this tough, what's the next thing? Wow, you just
Wow. Hold on. Let me come back on here. So he does agree that, it's going to continue advancing. And you're thinking, like, what is the next thing? Some people have even mentioned AI getting involved. Now, wouldn't that be crazy if AI is actually involved in that process? Man, man. So let's just say, for instance, you see the fish on the screen and it automatically puts data up there. That fish is 17 and a half inches. We've already measured the length, the girth, the whatever you need to know. And the approximate weight of that fish is 3.5 pounds. And you need a fish that's a 4-pounder in order to qualify. You would know right then, like, oh, I don't even need to try to catch that fish. Let me just keep on moving and just keep deet, 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 keep scanning around until you find the one that you need. Ooh, that's crucial. So that is one of the things that when I asked what did he agree with, that's what he agreed with. All right, so let me hop back into the chat. So I think we have enough responses now to where we can answer that question on that poll, and we can change that poll up if you guys want to. All right, hold on one second. Let me just refresh that. All right. So the poll question is, will Milliken win an elite event in 2024? The yeses have it at 63%. And the no's are at 37%. So we're going to see, guys. All right. Somebody needs to remember this. I know I'm probably going to forget, but somebody needs to remember. What is this? December 8th. The poll said yes, he's gonna do it. He's gonna do it, guys. All right, he's gonna do it. All right, so let's see. If somebody else had another poll question, drop it in the chat again, and I will update the poll. Really appreciate everybody for getting active in the chat and staying active. So what we're doing for everybody that is just tuning in, we're doing a weekly recap. And this week's recap, what we're doing is going over the interview that was done earlier this week with Ben Milliken. Just going over a few of the high points in there, things that kind of stood out to me. Obviously, there's a lot of good points in there, guys. It was a 2-hour conversation, and we did bring up people with questions and stuff like that. I will bring up a few clips of that and let you guys see that and see what kind of responses that you have with those questions. But let me hop back into the chat real quick. And what I'll do after that is we'll go on to the next clip. The next one's kind of interesting. The next one was kind of interesting. Let me just take a look real quick. All right, let's see. Where were we at in the chat? Hold on, just bear with me. Let me try to hop back in here and get caught up with at least the money teams. All right, let's see. Shout out to Nick. All right, says Semper Fi. Hey, thank you for your service. Really appreciate that. All right, let's see who else we have. I see we have a lot of new names in here tonight. Really appreciate everybody for tuning into the live stream. So we have Shop Life says we should all donate and send Randy a live. Come on.
Yes, sir.
Says send him a live scope set up for Christmas. What kind of problems you trying to start in here in this chat? What kind of problems you starting in this chat? All right, shout out to Steve. Steve says, did you see his video today? I probably did. What was the topic? Goodness. Was it with Fritz? It was something. Yeah, I think I did see it. All right, so let's see. Michael Daly says the size of the field does not matter. It's you versus the fish. I don't know. I kind of think the size of the field matters because the more people that you have, I would think the more of a chance there is that somebody's going to run into something that you're going to have a hard time beating. I mean, it could be you. It could be you. I mean, Michael, you could get out there and do your thing. But I think the more people that you have out there, even if it's 200 people out there just randomly fishing, somebody is likely to run into something. You know what I mean? It could possibly happen. So I would think that the numbers matter. That's what I think. All right, let's see. Joseph, shout out to Joseph. He says, Shop Life, it's my understanding that Randy has 3 live sonars on his boat currently. Come on, Joseph. Come on. You can't be out here spreading stuff like that. All right, let's see. The Chosen One says, if you have enough money, get it. If you don't. You still have to catch the fish. Oh, yeah. You guys saw me out there on the lake on the live stream. That's the other thing I do, guys. At least once a week, I try to get out on the lake. I would do live streams on the water. They're live, just like you see me now, and I'm interacting with the chat. It is the same thing. Sometimes I get out there and do a little too much talking and don't focus on fishing. But I get out there and try to catch a few fish, and I show you guys my Mega Live system. I run Mega Live. I know a lot of you guys in the chat run Garmin. Some of you run Garmin Live Scope. Some of you run Lowrance Active Target. Everybody is welcome here on this channel, guys. So everybody may have different reasonings for why they pick this system over that system. But what we're here to do is, regardless of which one you pick, we want to make sure that you're getting the best results that you can out on the water. So if you ever have any questions regarding your system, where you want to tweak something, or you just have questions in general, always drop that in the chat, because you never know who's watching. Somebody may be having the same issues that you're having, or trying to figure out the same thing that you are. So we are building a community of like-minded guys and gals. Oh yeah, guys and gals. It's ladies checking in too. So we're just trying to make everybody, have the best experience they can while they're out on the water, because you never know when somebody out there is experiencing health issues, financial issues, time management issues, so that maybe they just don't have enough time to get to the lake as much. So the time that they get out there, you want to get out there and catch something. You don't want to get out there and come back with the zeros and come back, to the brag board with I zero type of story. We want to hear that you went out there and, caught that 20-pound bag. Or I went out there and caught 30 fish, guys. We want to hear those success stories. All right, let's see who else we have checking in. So we have Hickman Outdoors says, thank God for global warming. See, that's what I'm talking about. Look at this. It's caught 6 smallies, 3 spots, and a crappie in 5 hours in Indiana today. New 19.5-inch smallie PB. Shout out to Hickman Outdoors. That's what I'm talking about, guys. Get in here and share your experiences. I mean, that may motivate somebody. Somebody else may have been thinking about going out tomorrow, and they're like, hey, he got that 19 and a half. Let me go out there and see if I can catch a 20. So yeah, shout out to you. Really appreciate you chiming in. All right, so so we still have that other poll. And the other thing, guys, I'm looking to see what you guys want the next poll question to be. We're gonna poll the room. We're gonna gauge the room. See where everybody's minds are at. So if you have a question that you want to put up for the next poll, drop it in the chat. We can gauge the room, see what everybody thinks. All right, so Gary Phillips, let's see, says that was hilarious. He just can't leave it alone. All right, so yeah, that's what I said. Make sure you guys are getting in here, networking, and having a good time with it. All right, hold on one second. Okay, here we go. What does Les say? Les says anytime new technology shows up, it creates turmoil until they learn how to use it. And opens is tougher. Wow. Okay. Opens is tougher, full of hard charging anglers. So with the elites, shouldn't the elites be, since it's the elites, shouldn't the elites be tougher? Why are you guys saying that the opens are tougher? I really don't know. I'm just wanting to, see what your thoughts are on that. So why do you guys think that and actually that is the next poll question. How about that? So let me go ahead and end this poll. All right. So 65% of you say that Ben Milliken will win an elite event in 2024. All right. So this next poll is going to be, let me just start this next one. So this next poll is, which is harder to win? Opens or elites? All right, so we have first choice. We'll keep it simple again. Opens. 2 is elites. All right, and if anybody's just tuning in, somebody did put the information in there that in the opens, it can range from, what did you guys say, 150 to 200 boats. In the elite side of things, what was it? Was it 80 that you guys said in the elites? Just drop that in there again, just so people, that are just tuning in to know. All right, so that poll is up and running. And you guys are already getting to it. All right, so shout out to Les. Really appreciate that comment. All right, let's see who else we have checking into the live stream. Let's see, guys. Yeah, you guys are moving. And once again, I have to give a big shout out to the current sponsor of the live stream, the lead attorney. He was the sponsor of Tuesday's live stream with Ben Milliken. Really, really appreciate it. Anytime somebody finds value in the channel and, supports the channel that way. And what I do is each week, whoever gives the largest super chat, super sticker during the live stream, that person is the sponsor well, that person or entity, whoever does it, is the sponsor of that particular live stream, because this channel is supported by you guys, the viewers, the subscribers, and as you see, people that just kind of slide through every once in a while to want to see, just want to check out to see what we're talking about this week. All right, so really appreciate it, guys. All right, so let's see. Let me hop through here real quick. See if you guys have any other poll questions or anything, and then I'm gonna get back into the clip. Let's see. All right, so Scott says more boats, co-anglers, more pressure on the lake, etc. So I think you're saying that that's with the opens. All right, yeah. So yeah, I see you guys. That is a good thing. I see you guys in here networking with each other. All right, let me just share my screen again, and let me just queue up this next next part. Hold on one second, guys. Let's see, where were we at? 40. All right, so let's take a look at this next section, this next part.
The waves slapping against it more than anything. They hear the ping from the sonar. They hear the trolling motor spinning. And the more and more they get caught, the more they get conditioned to, oh, I got an ouchie in my mouth and got pulled out of the water.
Hold on, let me skip to this part. This is what I want to show you guys. All right, so yeah, so I don't think he had seen anything like this before. Here we go. Let's take a look.
Things, or seeing their friends caught, if they can process that in their brains. I don't know, but yeah, that's what's happening.
All right. Well, let me do a little something real quick, because I saw something that caught my eye. And when something like this happens, oh my goodness, I have to stop the show. We have a big dog, one of the big YouTubers in the house, guys. We have the lead attorney. We have the lead attorney checking in. He says, salute, Money Bass. All right. He says, great stream. Really, really appreciate it. And that means I have to get in here and do a little work. Edward Ragsdale Fishing, he came in and took your spot. He was like, oh, nah, partner, I'm the lead attorney. I need to come in here and lead this live stream. He has hit us with the $100 super chat, guys. What I say each week when we do these live streams every Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern, and we're going to start adding a little more to it, is whoever gives the largest super chat or super sticker during the live stream is the sponsor of that live stream. Because as you guys see, we do not have sponsors. We are sponsored by you guys, the viewers, subscribers, and people that kind of step in every once in a while and like, hey, what's going on over there on that Money Bass channel? I mean, how is he always getting all this stuff? What is going on over there? So really, really appreciate the lead attorney. All right, let me hop in here and do a little work. This is a live show, guys, so just bear with me. The banner that you see there we go. All right, so yeah, so he kind of had a, like wow moment earlier in the show whenever he saw some of the super chats coming in. So I think we might end up linking up. Hey, you guys never know, we may see Milliken doing some of these live streams, guys. after I give him a little bit of info. We'll see. All right, so this next part, so this was a part where we were, one of the things that I was asking him about was with the tradition of tournament fishing, or the tradition of fishing in general. What were his views on that? Because one of the things that you hear people saying as far as electronics and stuff like that is their views on the tradition of fishing. So let's go ahead and take a listen and see what he had to say on that. All right, hold on one second, guys. All right, here we go. On that you don't want to see, that is what allows that show to be on. So that's kind of how I see the tournament industry as a marketing platform. Whereas what I think that most people look at as far when they talk about the tradition of fishing is just that man versus man going out there and seeing who is the best fisherman, who is going to catch those fish. So what do you think about as far as like whenever he's speaking about the tradition and protecting the tradition of fishing?
Yeah, really where I look at that is, tournament fishing is just a tiny sliver of the fishing industry. And that's something that I really opened my eyes when I started doing the YouTube thing full time, because I fished, of course, growing up the first 18 years of my life, like I fished for whatever. We fished around here for whatever we could eat, basically, and or around Nebraska anyway. And that's how I grew up. We'd eat fish. I mean, I didn't even prefer bass fishing. I'd prefer to go catch, catfish, crappie, walleye, whatever
Right.
would bite.
Those catfish
Yeah,
are always easy. Just throw some liver in there and you can go home
exactly.
and
They
eat
pull
lunch.
hard, then you don't got to think. It's great.
Right.
But then I got into the bass fishing. I got into the tournaments. I started the YouTube thing, and I started realizing like you can appeal to a much larger audience sitting on a bucket throwing into a spillway that's 5 feet wide by 20 feet long, catching
Right.
carp or catfish or whatever will bite 100 times more than going and fishing a bass tournament. And that kind of like led me to think like, it's kind of bullshit that these guys can make these videos like getting all these views when I'm like winning a damn tournament and no one cares that much, or it's not that big of an audience watching. But what that really made me realize, kind of come full circle with that idea, is that fishing is whatever you want to make it. It doesn't matter if you want to spend $1 million on a boat and a truck and tackle and traveling and fishing tournaments and dumping everything you have into it, or if you want to go buy a $10 rod at Walmart and some worms and go fish on the bank. It doesn't matter. It can be whatever you want to do with it, and you can't judge people or criticize people because they decided this is what they want to do with it. And that's a beautiful thing. Just to make it simple, like that's a great thing. That's a great thing about this sport, because that's what separates our sport from other sports. Like they say.
All right. So so there we go. So that was his thoughts on the tradition of fishing and kind of like mixing it in with tournament fishing a little bit. All right, let's check in and see how we're looking on this poll, because I see you guys in the chat. I see you. So I'm going to change this poll up, but I just want to get an answer to this this question that we put up here first. All right, so let's see. Wow. Okay, wait a minute. Which is harder to win, the opens or the elites? They were tied at 50-50. So you guys are just like, some of you are saying, hey, the opens. Some of you are saying the elites. All right, so in the chat, if you think, just kind of justify your answer in the chat. That way we'll kind of, once again, we'll gauge the room and see, what do you guys think? Why are you thinking that the opens are harder? Well, let me see. Which is harder to win, the open? So right now it moved a little bit. So 48% say the opens. So put your reasoning why in the chat. And if you're saying the elites are harder to win, put your reasoning as to why in the chat. So yeah, that's kind of an interesting one right there, guys. All right, and then we're gonna change the poll. Now this next poll, yes,
sir.
Oh yeah, this next one's gonna be a good one. I see what you guys are talking about in the chat. All right, so let's see. And we have to stop the show. CT has gifted 5 memberships to the channel. Big shout out to CT. I don't know how many he's done so far. I think you may have gifted like 15 memberships to the channel. Really appreciate CT. Everybody put a CT in the chat. Please put CT in the chat. Really appreciate that. And I do not necessarily know how that works. Do you pick the people that those are gifted to, or does it just get picked by the algorithm? But yeah, if you guys could definitely put CT in the chat. I mean, that is, wow. I mean, you're just gifting out some memberships to people in the chat. And what that will do, those people that gain the memberships, you are now officially a member of the Money Team. Oh yeah, CT has gifted, I think, about 15 memberships to the channel, guys. And what that does, one of the main things is you will begin to see that badge next to your name. And as you continue to be a member of the channel, that badge number will begin to change. So the people with the N next to their name, so we see Scott out here. Scott has that badge next to his name. He is a new member. Then you have someone like, let's see, I know we have some long-time subscribers. Oh yeah, check out Joseph. Joseph actually has the Money Bass logo next to his name. So once you make it to that point, I believe he's been a member for over a year. So he has, he's a general in the game in the on the Money Team. So big shout out to CT. Really appreciate that. Let me just drop down here and take a look and see, are you guys dropping that CT in the chat for me? And make sure you guys check out and support CT's channel. He does some big things out here on YouTube. He's dropping some great content. So yeah, really, really appreciate you, CT. And the other thing, the likes. How are my likes looking? Do I need to call the police? Let me just check the likes real quick. Where are we at? So we're sitting at a good amount of people in here. Oh my goodness, the likes are a little light. The likes are a little light. Can you guys just hit me with maybe like 6 more likes? Can I get about 6 more likes? It really does help the channel out, guys, with the algorithm and everything. So I really, really appreciate it. All right, let's see who else we have checking in. Let's see. Okay, I see you guys shouting out CT in the chat. We have Les. Really appreciate that. All right, let's see. We have Joseph. We have Gary. Who else do we have? We have Broke Rich Guy. He says, oh, yeah, CT is killing it. All right, Scott shouting out CT. Really appreciate that. Really appreciate the shout outs, guys. All right, we have Sunrise Showdown. Another member of the money team checking in. Says, elites made it for me. And the reason because they can catch more fish. So you're saying in the elites, it's going to be harder competition, is what I think that you're saying in that. All right. Stevie K says 2 different qualifications there. 2 different qualifications. All right, let's see. CT says elites are tougher competition. Okay, so yeah, so that's what I got. That's what I think you guys were saying. So yeah, so but if we take a look at this poll says that the opens, which is harder to win, the opens or the elites? So it's harder to win an opens event than an elite. That is what is winning right now, but it's close. It's 52% versus 48%. So 52% of you are saying the opens win versus the elites. All right, so let me see. I see you guys still rolling in the chat. Let's see. Delta Bass putting in some information in here. He says the elites equals Brandon Polinick, Major Hammer. Oh yeah, does he fish with a sledgehammer out there on the lake? I mean, you know, he's out there making things happen. Okay. All right, let's see. All right, CT says,
yes, sir.
My pleasure, friend. Congratulations to all the new members. Big shout out to CT. Really, really appreciate you. All right, let me see. All right, just checking the chat, just gauging the room again. All right, let me go ahead and share the screen. And what we got into later in the show, guys, was a question answer segment. And like I said, if you have watched any other live streams, I haven't really seen a live question answer session. And again, for everybody that does not quite know the difference, a podcast, those are the shows that you see that are pre-recorded. This show is live. I'm talking to you guys right now. If I was to bring you up on the screen, you would be up here live and in action. And the chat is live. I'm watching you guys in here talk. I'm bringing those comments up. So the live stream is a actual live show. All right. So where were we at, guys? Let's see. All right. So I'm going to pull up this next part. And what I was saying is we had that question answer segment and we had some real good questions. So let me just share my screen again. And let's see who we had a question from. Shout out to Big Jim. We had Big Jim who came up. So yeah, I dropped the link, but not too many people were coming up. But Big Jim, he was like, let me get in there and ask this question. All right, so let's see what Big Jim's question was, and let's see how Milliken responded.
Okay, here's the fishing question. When you're practicing, man, on a new body of water, what are you looking for to find that special spot off the beaten path?
I mean, a lot goes into it. Research on the body of water, time of year, water clarity, and then a lot of that can be completely thrown out once you actually get out on the water. But I guess the biggest thing to me would be like, I develop so many different baits that I have a lot of confidence in. And so being able to kind of get an idea of these areas that the bass would be in based on how a lake sets up, whether it be a river, a man-made reservoir, a river system style lake, and then matching that with the time of year allows you to kind of decide, you know, are these fish setting up because of they're going to go spawn and they're staging to spawn, pre-spawn, post-spawn? Are they setting up because of current, or are they setting up because of bait? And once you figure that out, you can start to really scan around with your side imaging and find more isolated, you know, whether that be a hard spot on a point, like the sweet spot of a point, a brush pile, a channel swing bank, something where those fish can really set up that's I guess how you kind of break it down. That's a really a vague question and a vague answer, but that's what I do.
All right, so there we go, guys. So yeah, so Big Jim came in strong with the question and got some good info for you guys. You know, just kind of saw it from his point of view of how he gets out there and makes things happen. So big shout out to Big Jim for coming up with the question. All right, let's hop back into this poll again, because I do want to move on to the other one. So yeah, so we're staying kind of steady with which is harder to win, the opens or the elites. And you guys are saying that the opens are harder to win at 52%, and then we have 48% saying that the elites are harder to win. So right now it looks like the opens have it. So it's saying that the opens are harder to win. All right, let's see. I did see a good comment in here about that. All right, so Les Hughes says winning a tournament that has 230 fishermen is tough. Oh yeah, that is definitely tough. Elites are 1 in 100 odds. So you're playing the odds. What do you guys think about that? So if you catch let's say a 19-pound bag in the opens versus a 19-pound bag in the elites, which one are you going to, is that bag going to help you better with between those two? So I think that's kind of the way that Les is looking at that. That's playing those odds. All right, let's see who else we had in here. All right, then we have Sunrise Showdown says opens is hard, but the next level elite is harder. Why other than having the difference in the levels? So to me, it would still be kind of the same as, let's say if you were a boxer, for instance, and you have to qualify to fight for the heavyweight championship. But in order to get there, you have to fight 15 other guys to actually win. Which would be harder? Would it be harder going through and qualifying to be able to fight that one elite fighter? Or is that is it harder to follow that path to make it there? Or is it harder once you get there? So that's kind of, to me, what those odds are saying. So in the end, you have to fight one, but to get there, you have to stand out in that whole crowd. So I think that's kind of what they're saying on that one. All right. So CT says, everyone, when someone gives membership, YouTube picks the recipients. However, make sure you go into your settings for the channel and allow for gifted memberships, or you could be left out. Whoa, there we go. You do not want to be left out. Big shout out to CT. All right, so what he is referring to, for anybody that is just tuning in, CT has gifted, I'm thinking, around 15 memberships, because I've seen those come up before, and he was doing it on the last live stream. So really, really appreciate that. Big shout out to CT. So let me read this again so everybody understands. He says, everyone, when someone gifts memberships, so you can be gifted a membership, YouTube picks the recipient. However, make sure you go into your settings for the channel and allow for gifted memberships, or you could be left out. All right. All right. So I hope everybody got that. So yeah, you definitely don't want to be left out. I mean, yeah. I mean, everybody wants to be a member of the Money Team. Everybody loves that Money Team. All right. So let's see, guys. Where were we at? All right. So yeah. So I'm gonna change this poll question now. So now this question, let me go ahead and drop this one down. So right now the opens wins. So people are saying it's harder to fight your way to the elites than it is once you get to the elites. That is basically what the sentiment of that is, from what I'm understanding. All right, let's see what Big Jim had to say about it. So Big Jim says elite anglers can fish opens, and they do, but rarely does an elite angler win an open. Check history. Ooh,
yes, sir.
Big Jim said, let me come with some stats. Let me come with some info. So what does that mean? So if an elite can't win an opens necessarily, but an elite person can win an elite tournament, then it sounds like the opens may be right. I see it. The numbers changed again, but I mean, based on what Big Jim is saying, hey, it sounds like the fighting your way to the elites may be harder than it is once you get there. That's what it sounds like. And once again, guys, we are just gauging the room. This is not a world poll or a poll of the whole United States or anything like that. That is a poll from the people that are here and getting active on the chat. All right, let's see. Let's see who else we have in here. What is CT in here talking about? Let's see. He says, in my opinion, odds do not matter because it's not linear. That's saying that let's see. That's saying that all anglers are created equal. They're not. All right. All right. Yeah. So that's what the tournament is supposed to be all about, to prove who's not equal to the next person, where you are in the equality of the competition. All right. So sounds good. All right. So now this is what we're getting into, guys. The next poll question is, who do you think would win between a one-on-one Randy Blaukat versus Ben Milliken, no electronics? What do you think? All right, so let me go ahead and drop this poll in here. That is the question, guys. That is the question. I know you guys are interested in seeing this one. Who will win? Let's see. Randy Blaukat versus Ben Milliken. No electronics. Just mapping. Just mapping. Let me add that in there too. Just mapping. You're going to have to read those contour lines. You're going to have to get out there and find those ledges, find those long points, find those pockets. All right, so let's see. All right, just bear with me, guys. Like I said, this is a live show. This is not a podcast. So whenever I'm doing this stuff, it's live and in action. So everything you see here is happening as I'm doing it. All right, so we have Randy Blaukat, then we have Ben Milliken. Yeah, so I mean, to me, this stuff is kind of fun. I mean, it's some healthy fun, guys. I mean, it's not anything no different than what we do with ourselves when we're out here competing against our friends and everything on the lake. All right, so we're seeing, what do you guys think? That poll is now active, and I have a feeling it's going to start moving pretty fast. But the question for this poll? Oh man, you guys jumped on it quick. You guys jumped on it quick. Oh yeah, it is moving. So for anybody that is just tuning in, the poll that we have just dropped is, who will win? Randy Blaukat versus Ben Milliken. No electronics, just mapping. Who would win? Who would win? And remember, this is just to gauge the room. This live stream, this is not going to be an overall percentage or anything. This is just the people that, and hey guys, it's possibly biased. I would say that it's a good possibility that the poll is going to be biased. But with this channel, you never know, because you don't know who is necessarily in here. All right. Let's see. Let me just refresh this while you guys are still getting active in here. So that's definitely a good thing. All right. Sean says Milliken on Southern Largemouth. All right. Shout out to Josie. Says my old roommate was from there. Some awesome folks out that way. I haven't got. Okay. So you guys, make sure you guys stay in there and continue to network. That's something that I always encourage on the site. I mean, on the live stream. All right. Broke Rich Guy says depends on where they go. Most lakes where I'm from aren't too deep, but in other parts of the state, we can go 100 feet plus. Oh yeah. But with that mapping and no electronics, you're not even using sonar. So you can't even go and scan. I mean, you can find the ledges and stuff like that. So you'd still be able to see them on the mapping. Yeah, you'd have to be sticking and moving. All right. Okay. All right. I see the chat. Okay. So let me just go ahead and pull some of these up for people that are watching it on the replay to see what you guys are saying. So I'm going to hop back in here in the chat real quick. All right. Let's see. Where were we at? All right. Hold on. Here we go, guys. All right. Just trying to get caught up in the chat. All right. So Joseph says, I don't know if I could win on the elites or the opens, but I'm pretty sure I could spank old Chicken Hawk like a red-headed stepchild. Oh my goodness. We'll see. We may have a meetup, guys. We may have a meetup at some point, and then we can get out there and we can make some things happen. And it will be a live meetup. That's what it will be, live on the water. All right, let's see. Steve. All right, gotta double it up. We got Steve checking in. Shout out to Steve. Says cerebral tackle. Oh my goodness. Sometimes I gotta read these comments first Goodness gracious, guys. All right. But as you see, CT has a sense of humor because I get some of those comments too, guys. Hey, you never know who's going to be stepping in to the live stream. All right. So there we go. Look at that. Look at that. Sunrise Showdown says, oh, yeah, that's a good question. That's a good one. Oh, yeah, I figured you guys would like that one. All right, let's see. Okay, all right. So Broke Rich Guy says Milliken. All right, he said Nebraska boys are natural born fishers. All right, so Brett says, I want some info. You got to give me some info, man. I need some info. What lake? And yes, I think it matters. Oh, yeah, I think the lake matters too. But I mean, this is a vague question. So it's kind of a vague answer. I mean, we're just in here having some fun with it. So yeah, so that's what we're doing, Brett. We get here each week, just kind of ending the week. So this is a new thing that I'll start doing. And the other poll that I'll do is if you guys would want to do this on a Thursday or a Friday, because we do the Tuesday nights. So yeah, so drop that in the chat. Well, don't drop it in the chat. I'll do a poll after this one, but this poll right here.
Yes, sir.
I know you guys are liking this one. For anybody that is just tuning in, the poll is who will win? Randy Blaukat versus Ben Milliken. No electronics, just mapping. Oh, yeah. So right now, yeah, so you guys are still getting active in voting. I'm waiting to see. You guys need to get a little more active in there. Or maybe you're just thinking. All right, so right now, we're up to 20 votes. And we have Randy Blaukat at 35%, and we have Ben Milliken at 65%. So, it's kind of, yeah, I mean, yeah. So it's still moving. All right, let's see who else we have checking in. CT says, there's always got to be one. All right, so we have Broke Rich Guy says, depends on where we go. Most lakes where I'm from aren't too deep, but in other parts of the state, we can go 100 feet plus. All right, so I think I read that one. Let me hop down here and see what else we have. All right, just bear with me, guys. I'm just trying to see if anybody has any. Les says, that would make a pay-per-view event. Oh, yeah. All right, let's see who else we have. It's been fun. Okay, let's see. Joseph says, it's been fun, guys and gals. I'm outie. Got to go before the wife beats me like Hawk beats everyone to the ramp. See y'all on the water. Shout out to Joseph, a strong member of the channel and also a member of the Money Team. Really, really appreciate that. All right, guys. So it looks like the poll isn't, it looks like it kind of leveled out to where it's going to be. Does anybody else want to get active on this poll before we drop it? Who else wants to get active on the poll? Uh-oh, guys, stop the show. Hold on just a second. We have a new member, Jeremy Pruitt. Oh, yeah, Jeremy's like, hey, I kind of like what I'm seeing. I kind of like what's going on around these YouTube streets over here with Money Bass. Let me go ahead and join this channel. Let me see what's going on. Really, really appreciate that, Jeremy Pruitt. Welcome to the Money Team. All right, so yeah, you have that badge right next to your name. So as you stay, you're kind of gonna progress in rankings on that Money Team, guys. So really, really appreciate that. Shout out to Jeremy Pruitt. And what I say each week is who gives the largest super chat, super sticker is the sponsor of the live stream. And you know what? I guess right now, let me go ahead in here and change that banner to CT. Wait a minute. Oh my goodness. Did CT just gift another 5 memberships? Wow, guys. Look at that. Hopefully some of you guys went in there and enabled gifted memberships because CT is definitely getting active. And I was about to make him the sponsor before I even saw that right there. So let's go ahead and hop in here. And what I do is I update this banner. This banner lets you guys know who is the current sponsor of the live stream. I really, really appreciate you guys, supporting the channel, especially, just showing that you are finding value and, maybe a little bit of entertainment in the content that I put out each week. So really, really appreciate it, guys. All right, so let's go in here and do a little work. Cerebral, and let me put some respect on his name. Make sure I spell that right. So we have Cerebral Tackle. So now if you guys look at that banner that is scrolling down below, it says Special thank you so much to the sponsor of the stream, Cerebral Tackle. Big shout out to CT. He has gifted another 5 memberships for the channel, guys. Really, really appreciate that, CT. All right, so now let's hop back into the chat. I see you guys are still in here getting active. Hold on 1 second, guys. All right, let's see. Let's see. All right, CT says, my pleasure. All right, hey, guys, we got to do it. We have to do it. Drop CT in the chat one more time. Please put CT in the chat. I mean, CT is really, I mean, he's stepping up and he's helping out the viewers. You guys that are just dropping in, checking out the live stream. Hopefully you guys are finding value in the content and you like, you like this format. You like how we're getting together, getting interactive and everything, because each week we will get together and continue to do this. And you guys see, we will have some guests that come into the show. The members of the money team, sometimes I will reach out to you guys and say, hey, this is going to be going on. Do you guys, you want to see some behind the scenes on what's going on with some of this stuff? So really, really appreciate that. I see you guys shouting out CT in the chat. Really, really appreciate that. Big shout out to Rick. We have Rick checking in, a member of the money team. Really, really appreciate that. And you guys are in here getting active. All right, let's see where else we were at. Let's see. Okay. All right. There we go. All right, so let's check out the poll. And yeah, so that poll is kind of, oh, okay. I see you guys are still voting. So I'll leave it up just a little bit longer. And then I have another one. It's going to be another banger, another good question right after this one. But who do you think would win between a one-on-one between Randy Blaukat and Ben Milliken? No electronics, only mapping. Who do you guys think would win? And remember, this is just a gauge of who is currently in this chat. So if you were to ask the same question in another chat, you probably will get a different answer depending on what chat you put that in. All right. So really, really appreciate it. We have, let's see. Broke Rich Guy says, all good, CT. I'm just too broke to afford it myself. I get y'all still subbed. All right. So really, really appreciate that. Broke Rich Guy. Really appreciate you tuning in, getting active in the chat. I mean, that's what it's all about, helping to build the community of like-minded guys. All right. Shout out to Jeremy Pruitt, new member to the money team. Really appreciate it. Shout out to Michael Daly checking in. All right, let's see what CT has to say. Broke Rich Guy, hang in there. You'll get one eventually. Took me 2 years on one of my favorite channels. Oh, yeah. You always got to hang in there. You never know what's going to happen out here in these YouTube streets. All right, so let's see. All right, so yeah, so the poll looks like it's kind of slowing down. All right, so I saw someone say that they would actually watch this on a pay-per-view. Isn't that interesting? So let's end that poll. So right now we're saying Ben Milliken would win. But how much would you actually pay to see that? For everybody that's saying, that sounds kind of interested. If that was to happen, let me see. How much would you pay to see a 1v1 Milliken versus Blaukat? All right. So let's start it off with let's do, how about, hold on. We'll do $5. You guys can drop it in the chat. I see somebody said $3.50. I'll put $3.50 on it. How about that? All right, so let's see. So 5. We have a tenner on there. How about a $5, a tenner? All right, let's see. All right, just bear with me, guys. Like I said, this is a live show. So we're getting in here. We're getting active. We're having some fun with it tonight. All right, so we have 15 on it. Let's see who would drop a let's see who would drop a 20 on it. And then let's see who would pay 20. Okay, so let me see. So let's do 20 plus, because that's the end of it. I can put these 4 choices in here. So we'll have $5, we'll have $10, we'll have 15, and then we'll have 20 plus. And this is going to be a closed off event. You can only access it once you pay. Let's see. What do you guys think? That poll is active. All right, the poll is active. Let's see what you guys have to say. I guess I should have put 0. But actually, I mean, this is if you would pay. How much would you pay to do it? All right, so you guys are rolling already, moving pretty fast. Okay. All right, so we're moving. All right, so yeah, you can drop your justifications in the chat for this one too. And let me just, what I'm gonna do is just hop back in the chat real quick, and then I will pull up another snippet from the recap. All right, guys. So we're just doing a recap. I'm going through the chat for anybody that's just tuning in, just going through the chat, having a nice conversation with my peoples, with the members of the money team, with the viewers, the people that are stopping in just to see what's going on. Oh yeah, that chat is moving. Wow. Okay. All right. Come on, guys. Get active in the chat. Get active in the chat. I just want to see. I just want to see what you guys would say to that. Wow. Okay. All right. It's still moving. All right. I see somebody said a side bet. Who is that? We have Don Brooks. Shout out to. I mean, Don Barks. Okay. Don Barks says side bet $30. Says I'll put 30 on it. Plus a big bass. Okay. All right. We have Jeremy come in and said $12.99. I put the $12.99 on it. Okay, all right. Meet up at the sports bar, sit back and watch it, huh? All right, let's see. We got Rick said $19.99. I won't hit the 20, but I'll do $19.99 to see some action out there on that lake live and be able to communicate back. And just imagine if they were talking back and forth to each other, just talking trash on to each other on the lake while they're doing it. I mean, it'd be all in fun, guys. Same way when people watch basketball, those guys are out there talking to each other. They're not just being quiet. So, you know, I mean, it adds another layer of excitement to it. All right, so let's see who else. Scott says, I would just wait for your weekly recap. Oh, come on, Scott. Come on, man. You got to pop some popcorn and get some juice and kick back and relax and enjoy the show. All right, let's see who else we have. What else do you have to say in here? All right, Les says they would need to be live with the ability to chat throughout the tournament. Sound familiar, guys? Oh, yeah. Sound familiar? All right, let's see who else we have in here. Cerebral Tackle says, Don Barks, it all depends on the situation. I'm moving into a place that is about twice what I was paying. So I'm splurging before. Goodness, CT. What are y'all talking about in here? All right, let's see. Let's see who else we have in here. All right, Joe Winkler. Shout out to Joe Winkler. Very, very strong supporter of the channel. He says, Ben's fished my tournaments. Trust me, guys, I'm putting 100 on Ben. Ooh, okay. All right. He said he's putting his money on Ben. All right. So shallow water, no well, not necessarily shallow, but no electronics, 1-on-1. Okay. He said he's putting it on Ben. All right. So how much would you pay to see that? Then we have 46% said $5. All right. Put a little ching on that. Then we have 0% said 10. You guys are just skipping. Say, hey, you know, if we're going in, we're going big. So then we have 15% said $15. And then we had 38% said $20 plus.
Yes, sir.
Ooh, okay. All right. Yeah, it would be kind of interesting, guys. All right. So let's see. Is there another question to add to that? Or does that pretty much sum it all up right there? So we got who would win? Would you want to see it? And how much would you pay? All right. All right. I see you guys in the chat. All right. So let me pull back up. Let me pull the clip back up. And let's just see what the next thing is in here that I was taking a look at. Hold on, guys. Just bear with me real quick. Like I said, this is a live stream. This is a live show. So let's pull up. All right, here we go. Here we go. This was an interesting question right here from somebody you all may know that hit the link and came up when a lot of people wouldn't. I don't know why you guys didn't want to talk to the man, Ben Milliken. All right, hold on. Here we go, guys.
When it comes to cheating in tournaments, you know, many states have that down obviously as a contest fraud case, which is what those guys, one of the multiple charges they got prosecuted for. Do you believe cases of contest fraud are deserving of jail time?
It's a tough question. It's not really for me to decide, I guess. But I would come at it from a position of I don't care about jail time, but I would like for more strict punishments to be placed from the organizations. Like last year in the Opens, we had a case that was an egregious case of cheating that didn't really do anything other than that day got disqualified. That day, not the tournament even. And then that angler was allowed to fish the next few tournaments in the same division.
All right, so there we go. So that was another interesting question that happened last night. Just make sure you guys go and watch the full interview if you have not seen it. So we're back and forth in there. We're having a good time. We even start bringing up people that are viewing it live so that they can ask questions. So yeah, so definitely a fun time on that live stream, guys. All right, so let's see how much. All right, so yeah, so we went through that. We had 40% said they would pay $5. Then we had 0% said they paid 10. They're like, hey, we're going big or going home. So we had 20% said $15, and then 40% said $20. So basically, we're at 60% are saying 15 plus, basically, is where we're at. All right. So hey, seems like that would be kind of a fun thing to be able to sit back and watch, guys. Oh man, so we've been rolling, guys. Did a nice little weekly recap. We had some fun with it. Want to definitely give a big shout out to CT. He's the sponsor of this week's weekly recap. He hit the channel with I think he's up to 20 memberships have been gifted, guys. So really, really appreciate that, CT. All right, guys. So like I said, just make sure if you have reached out to me wanting to collab or anything like that, just send me another message, because once I see those things and I miss them, they kind of get left in the mix with things. But yeah, really, really appreciate the support. Really appreciate everybody for tuning in. And like I said, we're going to continue to grow, guys. So go ahead and hop on the bandwagon while you can. Hop on the train as we're still moving. And to continue supporting the show, please send out the link to 2 people that you think will be interested in this type of content so that we can continue to grow. And whenever they come, if you have been sent here by somebody, drop their name in the chat. Say sent here by, so I can, I can see, I can see who's out here, doing a little something out here in these YouTube streets, getting some more people to come over to the channel. All right, let's see. Let me just go through a few more messages in here, and continue to have some fun with it. But make sure you guys hit me up and let me know if you have any topics that you want to discuss for next week, and if you have any guests in mind that you wouldn't mind seeing out on the show. All right, so shout out to Big Jim. Really, really appreciate you coming in and checking out the live stream. All right, Joe Winkler says Ben's going to be in Oklahoma for the Classic. Probably could get Ben to fish Randy, but Randy probably wouldn't show. Oh, come on. So you don't think Randy would show? Come on, man. All right, so Michael says jail time depending on the size of the purse. Yeah, that was the thing that I was saying with that question. I was like, man, I mean, especially if it's $1,000 or more, that in some areas is considered a felony. So yeah, you'll get the hammer dropped on you for it. But I don't know how strict the any jail time would be. But I think somebody should definitely be there should be some type of registry. People should be banned and just done. That's just the way that I see it, because it's guys out here that are working real hard for the money that they have, and they're investing their time away from family, all that kind of stuff. So the effect that it has on the people that have put in all that work, yeah, I think there should be a pretty hefty consequence to that. All right, so Gary says my is out. I'm going to work in the morning. All right, shout out to Gary. Really, really appreciate it, Gary. All right, and Broke Rich Guy says, thanks, bro. Can't wait to tune in next time. All right, guys, there we have it. All right, so we'll go ahead and end it on that note. Really, really appreciate everybody for tuning in to the weekly recap. Oh, yeah, we had some fun with it. We'll definitely be getting together next week. And like I said, make sure you guys share the links for the channel. There will be more content coming out. I put out those VODs that you guys have been liking. VODs meaning the videos, those videos that you can click on. They may be like 8 to 10 minutes long or something like that. So we have some fun with that too, guys. All right. All right. And then we have Scott says, shout out to the veterans for Pearl Harbor Day. Definitely, definitely. All right. And everybody have a great weekend, and I will see you on the next